Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode, Spiritual Connections by Joelle podcast. I'm your host, Joelle Burns. Today, I have a very special episode. Guys, you don't know who is coming on the show. And I'm so excited because he's going to share all his past paranormal experiences that are so deep and so jaw-dropping, and then any of his UFO and alien experiences as well, which are amazing, and you guys are going to love this episode. So please stay tuned for my spouse, Sean. Hi, Sean. Welcome to my show.
Hi.
Okay, so I know a lot of stories of your past, of certain things that have happened. We've talked paranormal, we've talked UFO sightings from when you worked in the Coast Guard. I know a lot of things have happened, but can you pretty much start at the beginning, please, for my listeners to know and understand, like, how you think you came of these gifts and what has happened? Maybe share some of your spiritual background.
Spiritual background. I don't know if I would call it that.
Okay.
How far beginning? The day I was born? Okay, so a big factor in all this I always discussed with my mother was the fact I had to be resuscitated when I was born. I was not alive when I was born. I came out with a quarter after on my neck a bunch, and they had to work on me for a little bit until they brought me back.
So you think that's where you got your spiritual gifts from?
Yeah.
Your
Yes.
very intuitive sense, and then / also seeing full apparitions and things like that, which we'll get into.
Yes, and just living in a very haunted house.
Okay, so when do you remember your first ever paranormal experience? Because I don't think UFOs and alien things were anything on your radar when you were little.
No, just growing up, the big thing was the thermostat would change constantly. It was one of those old rotaries, and we would leave when I was young, and we'd come home to a house at 90.
Really?
Yes, and we would go over, and the rotaries were changed to 90 degrees, and that's what my great-grandmother used to keep her house at, and she had a house that was, my parents built the house attached to her house, and then she passed away, that house got knocked down, and then we switched to digital thermostats, and some weird stuff happened after that, because she couldn't change them anymore, like chandeliers would start spinning, you'd hear knocking everywhere, walking, so I remember that as a kid. I also remember seeing people standing in my room when I was growing up.
Tell me exactly what you would see and where they would be standing, because that's like really haunting as a child.
I would see them.
And how old were you?
I don't know. I was probably like 8. Yeah, maybe 8. I would see a man standing in a fedora in the corner of my room. I would see someone walking down the hall sometimes. So if we were sitting in the living room, you'd see someone walk, just a shadow figure, walk across the hall. To the point where my dog would stop and growl at it. My dog would walk around, and when this stuff, there was like high points and low points of it. And my dog would walk around, and she would just stop in the middle of nowhere, look up and down, growl, hide up, and walk around nothing.
Oh, that's creepy.
So we saw that. There was even to this day, people still see it in the house, is a red coat, Revolutionary soldier standing in a closet in the house. So that's something. So we all saw that as a kid. It was in what was my bedroom, which turned into my sister's bedroom.
Now, with these apparitions, the fedora, we have come to find out that was your grandfather, correct?
Great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather. Okay. And then did you see like his full, as if it was you and me? How did it appear to you?
It was just shadow. It was the full figure, like someone standing in the dark.
So like black?
Black.
Okay.
And you'd see him standing.
Have you ever seen it with full color?
Only one I saw a real full color, which I told you. Creeped out.
I know that story. It's so creepy, guys. Oh my God.
But no, you'd smell pipe smoke or cigar tobacco in the house, which no one smoked cigars or pipes at that point. And yeah, you just hear people walking around talking.
Explain the background of your mom's belief in this and your dad's belief in it.
In what?
So how your mom is more like, she has like abilities that come naturally to her, but your dad is like the number one skeptic.
Yeah.
So you have that balanced relationship.
Which I'm still a skeptic, but I've seen stuff. The big thing is my mother also...
Stuff that you just can't explain.
Yes. My mother also was resuscitated as a child. She drowned on the Jersey Shore, and a lifeguard saved her. That she always said that was divine intervention or whatever it is, because that same kid went to Vietnam and died after. Or Korea.
The one who resuscitated her?
Yeah, a lifeguard. So I'm pretty sure that's the story, or I might be confusing one, but
Okay.
I have a lot go on. But she said no one was paying attention, and she went under. She felt the warmth, saw the light, saw everything, and they said it's not your time. And all of a sudden, she felt the hand grab her, and that was the lifeguard. So
That's amazing.
And my dad has never experienced that, so I don't know.
No, but your dad is the skeptic, so he's the one.
He has seen everything, but he doesn't believe it.
He did have his story of the light
spinning.
No, the light turning on and off, and multiple times.
We'd had that.
So can you tell that story for him? Because I love that story because of him being the skeptic. And then he really was like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I forget the exact details of it.
The living room light.
There was a living room light that we had, which
like a table lamp.
Yeah, it was from my grandparents, actually. If this is the right light, because this happened to me, too, on a very active night. But it was on, he went and shut it off. He walked away, turned back on. So he's all right. Did it again, turned it off, walked away, looked back, and turned back on. And then he said, F this, unplugged it, walked away, turned around, and it was on. And he said, I'm going to bed, and just walked away.
No, I think he left the house.
Yeah.
I want to say he left the house. He was like, I'm out of here.
Yes.
Like, done.
It was...
done and done.
But I had that happen as well, where we were just like, that light just came on and off, and you would unplug it, and it would still come on and off. And we'd just be like, all right. And ignore it. It was like a family light throughout. That's a few generations that had that light in their home. So it was interesting.
The background of the land of your house too is...
I don't know about the background. It just, my great grandmother bought it. She had multiple husbands die on her, probably on that land. She didn't speak any English. She was from...
Wasn't it...
Czechoslovakia, I think.
Wasn't it American Indian burial grounds?
It might be.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that stuff.
So me as a psychic medium, and they've also had a few psychic readings or medium readings with that house, and we have both said that they're American Indian burial grounds on that, and very deeply rooted stuff that can cause a lot of activity.
Well, multiple houses were haunted to the point it was my great grandmother's house, my house growing up that was attached to that house, my grandparents' house next door, and my uncle and aunt's house next to that. So it's 3 houses in a row, all family. And my uncle and aunt actually had to have an exorcism at their house because they had a run out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The drawers all flew open in their kitchen, slamming. You'd go up the stairs and people would chase you up the stairs. So they actually had a priest do an exorcism at that house.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's frightening. I didn't know that.
Then my property, you would see random...
Did you have a kitchen cabinets all open and have that happen?
No, we had the chandelier start spinning.
What chandelier?
Swinging in the... We had a heavy cast chandelier for my grandmother. The gold plated. Thing was a tank. And we just stood there one day and it just started spinning.
Where was the biggest activity in the house?
It was all over.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. It was in the basement. My house turned non-believers into believers. And then I realized they followed me. So that was fun because every house I went to, they were there with me. But I remember one day I was in my teens with my best friend, who is still my friend and still tell you the story. We're down in my basement where the computer room was. Remember the days of the computer room? And we were down there. And the next unfinished spot was a gym with a punching bag. We had to go in there to get a tool or something because we were working on something. And my buddy gave the punch bag a few light taps, walked out. We came back into the room, got on the computer, And all of a sudden, I heard a creaking noise just getting louder and louder. And it was coming from the gym, so we walked back in, and the punching bag, which is actually sitting right there, was...
That's a new punching bag.
No, it's the same punching bag.
Oh, that is the same punching bag?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's creepy. As we're telling
was actually
the story.
spinning at such a speed that I was like going sideways. So I walked over, stopped it, and we left the house. Yeah. And we used to wake up. We'd have sleepovers as kids. You would wake up to static on TVs.
For people who don't know, how much does a punching bag weigh?
I think that's an 80-pound punching bag.
That's pretty significant. So a few hand punches is not going to get a rotation spin.
And it was gaining speed as we stood there and watched it. And like I said, we would have sleepovers and we'd stay in the basement and the TVs would come on and just be static. We'd just wake up to static TVs and lights dim when they were bright and stuff like that. And you'd hear people walking above us. And that's my experience. And like I said, they followed me to college. That same friend was my roommate in college, and we were just joking, and he said, "Burns, those ghosts better not follow you here. I'll kill you." And as we were going to bed, they said that right before bed, and then all of a sudden, on his bed, something flicked the metal post. And he said, "What the hell?" I was like, "I don't know, dude." Yep. I've been into different houses, attacked by one at my brother's wedding. He was at one of the oldest inns in Vermont. And we're getting tours of our bedrooms, which this is a weird one because we're getting tours and they're like, I was staying in this room and they're like, "Sean, this is your room." I was like, "Okay, cool." And I kept getting, as I get deeper into the room, I get more and more uneasy. Felt like someone was trying to choke me and like my heart was racing. I'm like, this is weird. And there was a picture of this young blonde girl, like Victorian girl, on the wall. And I just had this uneasy feeling like she was staring at me with anger. And I was like, I can't stay in this room. I don't know what's wrong. I'm having a panic attack. This is bad. As soon as I took a step outside the room, my mother came out and she said, "That girl didn't like you." I've seen a lot and I still question. I've had good gut instincts sometimes where I knew stuff was going to happen before it even happened. It's been good.
I think when I had a lot of experiences as a child growing up, but I don't think I had as much as Sean has experienced. I also had the umbilical cord around my neck, but there was no resuscitation. But we started having experiences together when he had an apartment in Falmouth, and I would go visit him, and footsteps were something that we would hear. Remember the smoke alarm going off randomly? Like, it was one night, it went off 3 different times, like spaced out intervals where it was waking us up.
Yeah.
That was crazy, with vaulted ceilings, like super high. How high were those ceilings?
12 foot.
Oh, no. Really?
Maybe bigger.
They were tall. They were like 19.
Oh, yeah. I had like
They were like...
It was a very tall
way
room.
vaulted.
The grand room, like the
yeah.
room. Yeah.
And so that's where it was going off solely. It wasn't going off anywhere else. That we had to run out. And this is not like we just heard it by ourselves kind of thing. It was him and I. And then he had a roommate at the time. She came running out at the same time. We're all out in the living space together. Like, what is happening?
Yeah. I could always chalk that up to dust, though. I always say dust. With the walking, we did hear people walking around.
Walking, breathing. And then I had, your grandfather woke me that one time. And that was interesting. I've never had, this is before I was a medium, guys, that I had spirit standing next to me. There was no space between
That's what I like to do. Stand
the
right
bed
next to you.
and the wall. And like he was like up on top of the bed and so close to me. And I could feel this presence like just being there. And it freaked me out. And it was in the wee hours of the morning. I want to say 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was. And I was too frightened to even tell Sean and wake him. But I did end up telling him over breakfast. And I said something was next to the bed while I was sleeping. And he said, "That's interesting because I've never had them wake up somebody that I was dating before." And he came to the conclusion that it was his grandfather.
Yeah, that's usually who stood next to my bed.
Oh, it creeped me out. So creepy. You have lots of other stories.
Yeah.
But what I feel like what we're going to do, We might play this out and do another one. Maybe concentrate more on the UFOs. But please leave my listeners with the kid's story.
The kid story? Okay.
Oh, it's so scary, guys.
So the house I grew up, my family house, my sister bought it for my parents, so it's still in the family. And I wasn't living there at this time, but I went up to visit. So she has 2 kids, and she kept saying that Matthew, my nephew, had the gift as well. And he said he always talks to someone out in the yard. It's like, all right, he says he has a friend in the yard. He was little at this time. I was like, okay. I don't know what that is, but who knows. Where I was sleeping, like that night I went to bed. I had to sleep on the couch there. I was in the living room with a sliding, like how the couch was situated. I was laying on the couch where I would roll over and look through the sliding door to the porch, out to where the back sliding glass door to the porch or the deck, to where all the kids' play stuff is out on the yard and whatnot. So I was sleeping, and their dog jumped on me and woke me up, like scared me. I was like, what's going on? So he woke me up, and I rolled over, and I saw a little Victorian boy looking at me. And when I say, like, I looked over towards the glass, and I saw him looking at me. The only thing was he wasn't outside. He was standing on the inside, just looking at me. And the feeling I got from that one.
Tell the proximity.
It was 10 feet away.
I thought, no, it was closer than that.
Maybe 8 feet. It was pretty close. And the dog was acting like scared and trying to hide behind me. And the feeling I got with that one, I woke up and told my sister, I'm like, that thing, tell Matthew, no, don't talk to it. It was a kid, but it wasn't.
Did you see the full color?
Full color, black pilgrim clothing.
Black.
The white shirt,
and
the black
white,
pants.
That, what do they wear? That layered tie thing?
And black hair, very fair skin.
That was definitely malevolent, like something
It was
evil.
not a fun one. I've seen been in negative atmospheres before, but I was like, ooh, that one's not good.
So somebody had asked me one time if children, when you see them as ghost apparitions, if they are all malevolent because of the fact that children are pretty much innocent souls who go and pass. And I've actually done a meditation and asked my guides on this, and that's not true. That's not all. Some kids die so tragically, or influenza back in the day, or we'll just say sudden passings, that can cause a child's soul to be still trapped in this earthly realm where they can go in and out when they have so many questions and unanswered, and they get a little bit lost. So not all, if you do see child's apparitions, it's not all evil and bad. But his story, that one, guys, gave me chills. When I asked him, when he told me that story the next day, called me, and I don't know if we were dating or engaged at the time or whatever it was. And I had asked him, oh, it was outside the sliding glass door? And he said, no, it was inside. And I went, oh, I think my full body got that like cold chill. Like my blood just went cold. It still gets me to this day. It's really creepy. So since we could go on and on with Sean's stories, I'm going to have him back, guys, right? Yeah. Like you guys agree that he tells some good stories. Thank you for joining me, Sean.
Anytime, babe.
You have to excuse me. I'm still getting over my cold. All right, guys. Thank you, Sean, for joining me. And as always, guys, I want to send you love and light.